So maybe I'm getting out of touch with reality, right? But I'm just trying to figure out what part of the game is this for black people, right? American descendants of slaves, right? Not black immigrants. You see, people who like my grandfather, right? And my grandmother, right? Go back to Jim Crow. That's my grandfather, right? That they go back to they go back to Jim Crow, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just trying to figure out what part of the game is this, right? These people go back to Jim Crow, slavery, all of that, right? And you know they fought through all of that, civil rights and everything. And now, if you as you look, I was watching this video, and I see this Negro, this ninja. He's running down the block with a Mexican flag on like Superman, but he's stupid, man, and protesting ICE deportations when Obama deported more people than Donald Trump. That's number one, right? And he wasn't out there protesting with a Mexican flag on his back when Obama. I'm sure he voted for Obama. Black people are insane, and I'm gonna say this, right? Are insane in America, and standing and basically, so this guy he's running down the block with a Mexican flag on his back, protesting deportation by Donald Trump and ICE when Obama deported more people than Donald Trump, and with a trans lives, gay lives matter, for, poster. Make this shit make sense. This is what we have come to. This is what they have brought us to. I'm just saying, make it make sense. Because to me, this is pure insanity, right? For black people to be running down the street with Mexican flags or any kind of flag on their back in America with a trans lives, gay lives matter sign, and you, whether I mean, and I'm not saying who you support, whatever. I'm just saying what makes sense and what doesn't. When Obama deported more people than Donald Trump, but you wasn't protesting Obama. You supported Obama and gay marriage and everything. Make this shit make sense. It doesn't make. I don't understand. I need somebody. I mean, maybe one of these Negroes can explain to me their logic, and then I'd be like, "Oh, you're a genius. Maybe you can explain your logic to me, because I don't get it. I don't get what the fuck you're doing. No matter who you are, where you are, whatever." So I'm just kind of sitting back, just watching this whole thing, because I really don't get it, and I'm just waiting to see which way the wind gonna blow. I mean, I think I know, but I'm just waiting to see which way the wind blow. But I'm sure I will not be putting on a Mexican flag no matter what happens, grabbing a gay lives, trans lives matter sign, and running out into a crowd with tear gas and billy clubs with no whole bunch of like immigrants. That I won't be doing. I think that's totally illogical. I think it's insane. I think it shows that you are a stupid person. You're not aware. You don't have a grip on reality. You have no self awareness. You don't care about where you come from. You have no understanding of where you come from. You don't know where you're going. I mean, it says a lot about you. You know what I mean? When you put on a Mexican flag like Superman, grab a gay lives, trans lives matter flag, and then run out into a protest full of immigrants against Donald Trump and ICE when Obama deported more people than Trump. What does that say about you as a person? Does it say I'm a super genius? I'm a good person. I'm an intelligent person. I mean, what does that kind of thing say about you as a person? Why are you? What are you doing? right? And then you wonder why your communities look the way that it looks. You wonder why black communities look the way it looks. Particularly if you're a man, if you're a grown ass man, like if you support that kind of thing, like you're a grown ass man, you 30, 40, 50 years old, 60, whatever, on up, whatever. You're a grown ass man. And particularly, black man. And you have no sense of what's going on and where you are in this, in the scheme of things. Says something about you, man. You might need to do some self-reflection. Seriously, you might need to do some serious self-reflection. If you feel the need and if you find yourself tying on a Mexican flag like Superman, grabbing a gay lives, trans lives matter, poster and running out into the middle of a protest with a bunch of immigrants who probably don't like black people. That says something about you as a person. I don't even have to say it. I mean, I could insult you. Probably should insult you. But and no one could blame me. But it says a lot about you, right? Like, what are you thinking? I mean, honestly, I'm curious. Like, how did you come to that analysis that that was the thing to do? Like, what did your mother, your father, your friends, your family, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, what the fuck have they been telling you, right? The people at your school, at your job, what have they been telling you, Ninja, that make you want to tie on a Mexican flag, grab a Gay Lives, Trans Lives Matter a poster, and run down the block with a bunch of immigrants and protest against Donald Trump and ICE? I'm just curious, like, what kind of family do you come from? Who are the people in your family that you talk to? Who are the men in your family? Not the women, because women, we know women, they'll go with whichever way the money going, black, white, whatever. They'll go that way. Women, the Bible said there's no evil and wickedness above that of women. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. There's no wickedness and evil above that of women. So I'm not talking about women. They're gonna go the way the wind blow. That's why as a man, you gotta turn your back on women at a certain point. You gotta know when to cut their ass off. And you gotta be a leader of yourself. Be a strong leader yourself, willing to die on that hill, as they say. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really know, what I mean, what you stand for out here. Well, you go for anything, as they say. But anyway, I ain't gonna make this too long. But listen, man, just a word of advice. If you black, ADOS, you feel the need to put on a Mexican flag like Superman, grab a Gay Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter poster and run out into the middle of a violent, protest with looters and, even if it's a peaceful protest, you might need to do some deep self-reflection. I'm just saying, you might need to do some deep self-reflection on who you are as a person before you die. You know what I mean? Like, search your spirit. Do some soul searching, as they say. Because, as the Bible says, your spirit not upright, might not be upright in you. And you don't want to go out like that. Make peace, you know what I mean? You want to be one with the universe when you die. You might get, anything could happen. Any day, you could go any day in a gunfight. Dude run up on you in Walmart, spray up the Walmart. Anything can happen. And you want to have your spirit upright in you and make peace and not need closure. Like me, I don't need closure from nobody. I don't need closure and none of that because I made peace with God and I'm one with the universe. I don't need no closure. So, but let's talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. We already discussed it. In your silence, we discussed it. Right? In your violence and your silence, whatever, we've discussed it. It doesn't matter. Right? So we don't need no closure. When I didn't get an answer, that was the answer. We good. Knuckle up. Right? Knuckle up. Lock and load. That's it. The rest of this shit, bullshit. Right? Just get your money, man. See you on the other side. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just how it go. But you got to get real. This shit putting on. If you listen, you ain't in your right mind. I don't know who the fuck you been hanging around. What type of Negroes you deal with that if you decided to put on a Mexican flag like Superman, get a gay lives, trans lives matter, and run down a block into an ICE protest against deportations, and I don't know what to tell you. I don't think there's nothing nobody can. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing I could say. See, that's why you know people say bring on the comets, right? Bring on the missiles, whatever. Because at a certain level, this is just virtual insanity. I mean, you can't. How do you talk? How do you talk to a person like this? Like I probably got people like that in my family that would do shit like that. How would I talk to them? Right? If I had a son like this, or cousin, or uncle, or whatever, what are we gonna talk about? How do I talk to you and say, hey, listen, this is madness. What are you doing? These are the type of people you deal with every day. I went like this morning. I was trying to get something to eat. I went to a Chick-fil-A and I asked the chick for some eggs. She said, "What's an egg?" I said, "Are you pranking me?" She said, "What's an egg?" I said, "It's Chick-fil-A. Chickens lay eggs. You do know what? Hey, y'all serve eggs like egg and cheese biscuits. I can't get an egg platter and a goddamn biscuit." She didn't know what eggs was. But these are the people tying on uh, uh, Mexican flags around their neck with Gay Lives Matter signs running down the block, screaming about whatever. People who don't know what an egg is. She told me, "I know what an egg white is, but I don't know what eggs are." I said, "Are you serious? Are you pranking me?" I just stopped talking to her. I just went to the window and talked to the manager. I said, "Man, what is wrong with this woman?" He looked over. She was standing right there. He didn't want to say no. He says, "Yeah, sir, we got some eggs. Let me get these eggs for you." Got me the eggs and the biscuit, and I got the fuck out of there. And she just stood there. These are the people you want to argue with in your family and on the street, or you want to do. Something is wrong with y'all, man. And it's no cure for it. Like there's no amount of books. See, this is gonna happen another way, right? Sodom and Gomorrah style, right? There's no amount of books or lectures or or conversational debates that's going to help most people. I'm sure of that. So, but anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna end it right there. Good luck out there.